Yes, my homies, what is going on? Welcome to the Mile High Hotspur. How is everybody doing? Let's go. Just gonna pull some stuff up and get ready. Doing this live stream, I guess not just time wise early, but I've been doing these streams later on in the week. But Um, I'm planning on just doing tons more rapids based content, whether that's reviews, previews. So if I could get this out of the way today, it'll free up some space so that I can probably do. I want to try and get into more in-depth player analysis. Not so much analysis, but just kind of taking a look at the way we play, and I would like to learn to read stats a bit more, and I think I'm going to do that here on a live stream throughout, the season because we're going to have performances like we did yesterday or did I say yesterday that we had on Saturday that, just they're worth talking about, and I don't want to wait until later on in the week when it kind of loses. It doesn't carry as much as emotion and what's the word I'm looking for here, like it's just I would prefer to get this type of video out of the way quicker towards sooner rather than later, just so that it's more relevant, I guess I could say is the word that I'm looking for. But yeah, let's go. Big up to anybody that will be tuning in either live right now or on playback. The link is in the description if anybody fancies to come on and discuss the Rapids with me. I know it is a crazy hour. Big up to the homie Logan that says cheers, bro. Still at work but tuned in. I appreciate it, my homie. And that's just what it is. It's a weird hour to stream, but maybe as things go down further on the line, it's just changed. But let's get into what was for me, like it says in the thumbnail, arguably the best performance from the Rapids this season, my homies. And of course, it is not that far into the season, but we have had a few. Uh, we have had a mixed batch of different performances from our team, and I feel comfortable saying that this past weekend was by far our best performance. We beat what was a good team, Charlotte FC. Um, have a good team, a good lineup, a good coach, good impact player in Zaha, and I just feel like for some reason on the day the pities were just too much for them to handle. We will get into that. I'm sipping on some espresso that I get from right here locally, my homies. I fuck with the coffee company when I go to London and get some, but obviously right now being in Denver I can't. Matty K, big up to my homie. Hope you're well. Thank you for stopping by. Um Big up to the Spurs content creator. Um So let's go, my homies. Let's see if we can't get into this game. Let me pull up. Of course, you guys already know I like to use Sofa Score to help me kind of break down, digest, intake, visualize whatever it is however it is you want to say it. I use it to help me understand what it is that I watch when I watch the Rapids, because in the actual time of the game, of course, I do a lot of tracking the ball, and I lose, and I don't really see what's going on off the ball. And since I've started using and trying to understand the Sofa Score, it definitely helps me um, to get a better picture of what it is that I'm watching. Let's see here. Gotta send this link to the homie. I always forget to send it to him so he could watch these streams. But yeah, so let's go. I'm gonna pull up the sofa score. We doing it there? We doing it there? Let's go. Let's go. All right. Favorites, my homies, because the piddies are the favorites. Why am I having a hard time? All right, let's go. Where do I get this on full screen? Let's go. Let's see. I tell you guys, I'm getting better, and it's crazy because when I normally do this, I'm on my tablet, I'm on the iPad, and now doing it on the laptop is a bit different. So I want to shift your guys' attention to the left side of the screen that I'm sharing. This part right here that I would be circling. Um, because that's where I want to start this video or this stream off today. Um, I've said this before in different streams, and I also talk about this when I'm talking rapids. D5, my homie, big yourself up, bro. Thank you for being here. Thank you for stopping by, my homie. I usually talk about this, when I talk about the Rapids, and I try to explain why I feel like the Rapids can beat just about anybody at home. And it's because of just a lot of the factors that end up having a play in the game. Of course, the Rapids play at a high altitude. We are a mile high above sea level. The majority of teams that come to the Mile High City struggle with, just the altitude change and being able to grasp everything that it's different. People have a hard time breathing when they come up here, and if you're an athlete, you're having to run a lot. It's gonna affect you, and I kind of like to say that that's one of the biggest advantages that we have playing at home is the fact that we train in this environment. We train for these games, and teams don't. And I think this game that we just played against Charlotte FC was the biggest indicator of that being so. Like I said a little bit earlier, my homies, the team that we faced, Charlotte, our third time playing them. Um, Overall, I think the first two times were a draw, and this is the first time either team walked away with the points. And what a way to do so. What a way to do so. Let's see. Like I said, I want to focus on this left-hand side here, and this is going to show us the momentum that the game had. And if you watched the game or if you were in the stadium or you would have known, you would have felt that it was kind of a ping pong back and forth first half, but I say that it wasn't even like a very entertaining. There were very minimal chances, I will say that, but there wasn't very clear cut chances. I think Charlotte FC did get the biggest chance. Zach Steffen making a very good save, of course, outstretched lower left hand corner for him, and of course, one of these stops that you feel very confident when a player like Zach Steffen, who right now is making his case to be arguably the best keeper in the league, if not definitely in the hat, putting his name in that hat. But Zach Steffen, we will get into how much he had to do on the day because, of course, he was busy. He was busy. There just wasn't too many clear-cut chances in the first half that I could say were big chances. And a lot of that is really indicated here by the momentum shifts. Of course, you got a little momentum here that started off with Charlotte FC, bounced in the Rapids' favor. The Rapids are going to be the green side here on top of this graph. and Charlotte FC would be the lower team. And like I said here, the momentum did go back and forth for both teams. I personally think that Charlotte got the best of the opportunities. I probably should have watched the highlights before to kind of refresh, but um, my wife is cooking salmon, and I hate the fucking smell of seafood. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just do this live stream earlier, kicking it in the garage. But as I say that, it's fucking penetrating over here, my homies. So let's go. Um, Come on, you guys. Don't have to bring that shit over here. This is a fucking rapid stream, my homies. Take that shit somewhere else. Big up to you guys. Yeah, so you guys also know my channel is a Tottenham channel, and I do other shit. But as you guys could see, the Tottenham community is just nobody's right, nobody's wrong. I'm not saying that. I just don't want that shit here on my channel. That's all I'm saying. Because this is, of course, a different type of stream. So yeah, big up CP. Appreciate you, homie. All love every time. Um, Lost my train of thought there. So yeah, the first half, like I said, a bore, and you see you see the slight momentum here right before the second, but right before the end of the first half. Um, I kind of felt that we were going to go through that same slump again, where we give up that goal very late in the first half and go into halftime trailing. But fortunately, on this one, I'm very glad that that didn't happen, because it probably could have changed what was, the outcome of this game. Definitely something like that happening would have had a different impact. But then again, the Rapids did get a bit of opportunities there. Um, and the second half, this is where what I was talking about earlier will kind of go full circle here. Phil Army, big up, my homie, big up. I will be in London next. Well, I say next month. It's almost April, mid-month, man. So if you're around, bro, I definitely would like seeing you again, my homie. Let's go. Where was I at here? Yeah, so we went into the second half, and like I said, this is where I feel like it'll come full circle. What I was saying earlier, the Rapids. I always say this on the channel, my homies. Second half football here in Colorado, I know the Rapids are going to put their foot on the throat of the opponents and try to attack, try to counter, try to play in the high press, and the Rapids did that. We did that. Of course, winning these interceptions. I think the word that I'm looking for is recoveries. A lot of recoveries for the Rapids on the night, and a lot of that coming from players like Keegan Rosenberry, players like Ian Murphy, who on the night were excellent fullbacks. If I'm honest with you, I thought they both held it down. Keegan Rosenberry, in particular, because he had to deal with Wilfred Zaha out there on the right hand side, and I put out a tweet. Was it a tweet or a post on Instagram where it's the Grand Theft Auto image of the guy walking the dog, right? And I said, fitting that at Bark at the Park here in Denver, here in Colorado, that. Keegan Rosenberry had Wilfred Zaha on the leash. Nottingham Forest, bro. It'll be the Monday game, so I know that kind of complicates things. I know that kind of complicates that things for a lot of people, because the game was supposed to be a weekend game, and then it ended up getting switched over to a Monday game. Um, so yeah, about the what I mean, I can't really tell time here. I'm just kind of gonna guess. I want to say maybe around the 60th, when we made the substitutions. That's where you see this huge change in momentum here. before I get there, it does show here that Charlotte FC had a bit of the momentum, and off the, I can't really think of anything really dangerous that they would have had that really sticks out. Again, I feel like second half it was all Colorado. It was really all Colorado from in my opinion, from start to finish. Um, Big up D5. Uh, so yeah, man. We had the substitutions, wasn't it, around the 59th, 60th minute? And at that point, that's when things really clicked in. That's when I feel things really, really, really clicked in for the Rapids. I think we almost kind of just flicked it on and got even got just into another gear at that time. I'm at the Forest game, bro, traveling down to London with Jay, who you met at the coaching horses. We'll meet up. Let's fucking go. Let's go, my homie. Let's go. I'm stoked for that one, then. Let's go. Okay. Let me see. I want to show our average position here because and then substitutes. Okay, so I will chat more about this here in a second. I want to continue going off with the breakdown of the game. So let's talk about after the substitutions. That's when I said I think we got our rhythm, more into rhythm, that is, because we were definitely on rhythm all game. I felt all around, from start to finish, the players just executed and stuck to Chris Armas's game plan. So that goes without being said. Like, the game for the Rapids was good, but I feel like this part, and it's crazy to say that because Oliver Larraz was the first play. Oliver Larraz and Kevin Cabral were the two players that came off, were the first round of substitutions. And usually, for me, Oliver Larraz is one of these players that's creative, one that we could definitely count on to create something, and just one of our focal points in the midfield. But him and Cabral have been kind of, I want to say, like a substitute package, because they both have been coming off uh, simultaneously throughout the season, and it's something that Chris Armas has been doing. So I kind of want to think that it's just something that they got going, that package. And who came on for Larraz? Omir Fernandez comes on for Larraz, and then Calvin Harris, of course, sticks out wide there um, for Kevin Cabral. And for the first goal, who was it that was out wide that sends in? I want to say it was Omir Fernandez, wasn't it? That sends in the assist for. Yep, right away. He sends in the assist right in front of the goalkeeper, Djordje Mihailovic, who puts it in with his right foot. And I think we can even pull up uh, his info here. It's got to be some shots. Let's go. Let's pull up these shots right here, my homies. So that would have been the goal right there. I thought I could switch it to the different halves, but I guess I can't, my homies. Sorry for scrolling so quick, just trying to get back here. So you could see where he slotted that home from. Literally, high percentage shot, a good pass from Omir Fernandez. And can I just add to that? Before that, I want to say the Rapids had a good job to build up that goal in transition, get the ball out wide to Omir Fernandez, who did send a nice cross into Djordje Mihailovic, who put the ball away. Two goals for Djordje Mihailovic on the day, and we were when we score a goal, Here at the Rapid Stadium, we end up doing, some sort of shuffle and all this, the whole supporter section starts dancing from side to side and just going at it. And it's something that we do, you know, when we score. That's what happens. And we weren't even done doing that when um Rafa Navarro gets played into the penalty box, gets played the ball, gets into the penalty box, and ends up getting fouled. Rapids end up getting a penalty, and like I said, we're not even done celebrating the first goal. I turn around and see that the referee pointed to the spot, and yeah, my homies, perfect way to continue on after scoring the goal. This was literally like 3 minutes. 3 minutes after that is when the Rapids end up getting the second penalty. No discussion whatsoever. Up steps Djordje Mihailovic. The South Bank goes quiet as we should wait for the penalty kick. Slotted home by Djordje Mihailovic, and of course we erupt again. And the celebrations are back on, my homies. The Rapids go up. And 2-0 against, like I said, my homies, a tough team, Charlotte FC. And yeah, big up, Luca. Thank you for stopping by, my homie, Luca. Luca talks ball, says you okay? Yeah, man, you all right, man? We're all good over here, my homie. We're all good over here, dog. We're all good. Um, and just to kind of wrap up my thoughts on the second half, like I said, my homies, it was no competition after this point here. And I think that's kind of synonymous with the substitutions. Both Omir Fernandez and Kelvin Harris have both in recent games been able to come on off of the bench and make an impact right away, and in games where it counted, games where um, we needed that to get us over the line. You know what I'm saying? If this didn't happen, if we get just the first goal, you never know. Things could happen. We might concede a goal of our own, and next thing you know, we're splitting the points instead of talking about one of the best performances of the season. And that's what the substitutions and just following the game plan, sticking to it. A well executed, by the way. That's what you get. You get the victory, and you get to, you take the points. I'm pretty sure the way we beat them. I'm pretty sure the way we beat Charlotte FC is not gonna go unnoticed, my homies. It's not gonna go unnoticed. Let me see. Let's take a look at Charlotte FC. I want to see what their record was before coming into the game against us. So they were three wins, one loss, and one draw. 9 points, 10 points, 10 points in the East. Probably you're probably sitting above in the higher spots of the East. Well, here we go, right here. So this is going to be overall. Can we do East? No. Eastern Conference. Okay, so they were at 10 points before the loss. You see here, Inter Miami just won on the weekend, so they were at 10 points. Um, I'm 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 inclined to say that when the game took place, they were second or third in the East. So not an easy opponent, not a team that um, you could have said, yeah, the Rapids, should have beat them. I expected us to have a tough game. On the stream that I had with Jose last week. The stream that I had with Jose last week, we kind of talked about it. You know what I mean? This game could either be one of those cagey games where we split the points, or if we were going to win, we were going to win by smashing them. We were going to win by smashing them. And I also, want to talk about how we addressed the fact that if this game was going to be won, it was going to be won in the midfield. it was going to be one in the midfield, my homies. So, 90 minutes passed, and Rapids seal the victory, my homies. Good game for us. We're moving up in the table. I guess let me check out where we're at in the table. Um, we would be fifth in the West. And then I honestly think the West for me is probably a bit harder. Am I being biased, my homies? You guys in the chat might know a bit more than me. Um, but I feel like the West is a bit more harder. Could be wrong. I just feel like there's more teams in the West than there are in the East that are relevant, if that makes sense. But we're hanging in there, my homies. We got 11 points, fifth place. Let's see how we're doing overall. I think I seen a spot here where it's all overall, and we're ninth overall. Well, you know what, my homies, I take that back. The East is actually a bit more. It looks like it's a bit more dominant than we are. I take that back. I take that back. All right, let's go. Let's see if we can't come back here. Now, let's talk about Chris Armas and the way he set his team up, shall we? You guys know if you stuck around a few times and watch this channel, you'll see that on these streams, the rapid streams are becoming a lot more statistical. They're becoming, for me at least, more analytical, and it's cool to be able to see, this here that I'm looking at and showing you guys is the Colorado Rapids average player position. What I like to do on the channel is show this, right? Because it helps us gauge to see what we're doing here. And I know I say this every time. I need to put these and compare and contrast, but I always forget, my homies. I would definitely love to pull this one and put it next to the last previous 3-4 games, to kind of see what adjustments we've had. I guess that we could do that on a different stream. The sofa score says we did a 4-2-3-1. In fact, when I was watching the game, I always lean over and talk to the homie Greg, and we kind of just try to break down anything that we can in person. And one of the things that I told him is, hey, I think we're playing the 4-2-3-1. And it does say that on sofa score. It did definitely look like that. And one thing that the homie Greg pointed out to me was he said it looked like a 4-4-2 still, kind of at an angle, right? And if you look at this, it's right. Like this is a way that the Rapids could play, almost kind of trick people into, not trick, but just utilize your team and your players to the advantage and play a 4-2-3-1 with a double pivot and still be able to use it as like a 4-4-2. Djordje Mihailovic was all over the pitch this weekend. Cole Bassett was all over the pitch. Josh Atencio was all over the pitch. Good midfield trio. If excellent midfield trio right there, putting in a shift, doing what needed to be done for the Rapids to get the points. Excuse me. And that's what I said last week, previewing this match. We actually had, this discussion here. And this is a discussion I've been having with you homies, the formation that we're playing. And what I really like about seeing the 4-2-3-1, 4-4-2, I'm going to call it the 4-2-3-1. I know Djordje is playing right next to Hoffa, almost as if it is a 4-4-2. But there were times there where it was, where it was where Djordje was a bit more back there to make it, almost picture perfect formation there. You see, Let's just start with Zach Steffen, my homies. Let's just start with Zach Steffen. Sticking heavily to his box, of course, as he should, the sweeper keeper role. You're going to see some of this possession outside of the box. But what I like about it is it's very central. He didn't have to go to the left, to the right. Wasn't have this here. I'm assuming is probably just a set piece or something like that, where he stayed for. What the hell happened? I'm assuming that was just a set piece where he stayed for a hot second there just to get the kickoff. But um, on the day, perfect performance from Zach Steffen, clean sheet. We will get into the player ratings here in a little bit. Just want to kind of go over to positional play here. And then let's go with our two center backs here. Andreas Maxu, huge performance. Cheeto, huge performance. Look at how they're clogging up these spaces here, leaving just a little bit of space there. But we've seen this gap be a lot bigger before in different games, and those were the games where the Rapids got punished. And then one thing that sticks out to me off the bat is look at Keegan Rosenberry, our right back, and Ian Murphy, our left back. Very, very similar positions here. Not too far, high up from the center back partnering there. Not too far wide, not too far up. Either in the last games we've seen one of these players is either going to be high and the other one is going to stay back. In this game, I feel like we definitely prepared for what could have been an explosive attack from Charlotte. I'm almost inclined to say that the Rapids weren't afraid. Haven't looked at the possession, but I'm going to say the Rapids weren't that afraid to let Charlotte say, hey, have the ball. We're not going to really be the more possession-based team that we kind of have seen the Rapids be in games of the past, right? This game was, I think the Rapids felt comfortable, especially with that double pivot in front of these two center backs, especially with Keegan Rosenberry not too far away from Andreas Maxu, not leaving the whole team exposed. A lot of times I feel like we kind of we kind of like what's the word I'm looking for? We kind of just overpower or just overfill the pitch onto one side, and it's usually Keegan Rosenberry that gets left exposed and having to come back real quick to I say Keegan, it's either side. I'm not trying to single anybody out, but I'm saying usually we see that. And in this game, it was very balanced. I see this average position play, and that's very, very balanced. Usually, this guy up here, Cabral, is way out here on his own. Let's look at the play for Keegan Rosenberry on the right-hand side here. Because like I said, I thought he had a very good day, very good game against a tough opponent. Like I said, Zaha's a very good opponent. Ian Murphy, not too much movement from Ian Murphy, but I thought he was very good as well, my homies. We will get into player ratings here in a little bit. Just kind of going over to what I see here off the pit, off the ball movement, and just positional play. Cole Bassett playing a more central role. Again, this new formation, this formation change back to what we're familiar with. 4-3-3 is what we've been seeing, and seeing Cole Bassett out here on the right, and Atencio central with Oliver Larraz on the right. And this game, I really thought was the best game all season for both Cole Bassett and Josh Atencio. All game long, I kept telling the homie Greg, "Yo, look at where he's at. Look at where Cole Bassett's at. Look at where Josh Atencio's at. Look at them playing the ball." A lot of times it was Bassett winning the ball back, playing it quick to Josh Atencio because Josh Atencio was right there next to him or just right there anticipating the ball or vice versa. You know what I mean? I really felt, honestly, my homies, I really felt this is our best formation, regardless of the team, regardless if we're setting up defensively, regardless if we're setting up, a mid block, because it's not really a high press. I think Chris Armas has been referring to it as a mid block. And regardless if we're going to go for trying to get possession, regardless if we're going to try and go for hitting them, on a counter attack type, a type of plan. I feel like this one still offers us the best one, regardless. It's such a versatile formation here. Because, like I said, and like I mentioned, the homie Greg brought it to my attention. You can almost say that's a 4-4-2 if you kind of just skew the formation a bit, which is what the Rapids like to do. Because look, Djordje Mihailovic on this side of the pitch here, clicking on Hoffa on this side of the pitch here, Oliver Larraz on this side of the pitch here. You know what I mean? Atencio will get over here too. Don't get me wrong, but the Rapids attack is off to this side of the field. Coming for our substitutions here when we had Omir Fernandez on the left-hand side of the attack, got the assist. Why? He sent the cross in from the left side of the attack. We're gonna attack from the left-hand side. These charts here, these graphs here have been very, very similar in the sense that they're consistent, that we're always building up play from the left-hand side of the pitch. And this today, even though our players are spread out, we still tried going off of the left-hand side. And I think this was the best way of going about that, my homies, because in the 4-4-3, when we put Djordje Mihailovic out wide in front of Oliver Larraz, I feel like they just don't let each other complement each other's games. I know I brought it up to Jose's attention last week, and I told him how Djordje Mihailovic himself said he felt very comfortable on the left-hand side of the pitch. But with performances like the one that he just had on the weekend, my homies, it's hard to believe that. I just think this guy's a fucking baller. You know what I mean? Anywhere you're going to put him throughout the pitch, not only is he a baller, my homies, but he has the fucking heart that required to be a leader. You know what I mean? To grab the game by the scruff of the neck like he did and score 2 goals. You know what I mean? About to go to sleep. I thought I'd show some love. Let's go, my homies. Let's go. Big up. My homies, if you haven't already, please do like the stream. Let's see if we can help the algorithm get these type of streams pushed to maybe more people that don't know they're out there. You know what I mean? Maybe there's some sort of other MLS people that want to watch shows like this. Liking the stream will definitely help that, be more possible. And not only that, like I want the channel to grow doing stuff like this. You know what I mean? I want more Rapids fans to be engaged, and by clicking, the like button and subscribing to the channel is definitely a huge way in supporting the channel. So I appreciate you guys, my homies. And not only that, just being here and kicking it with the homie as well. Like, it goes a long way, my homies. So big yourself up. So if there is any homies, in the chat, I'm interested to hear from you guys, whether it's in the comments or when I see you. What do you think of what I'm saying? Like, we're seeing, this game. I can't say we're seeing. We've seen Djordje Mihailovic in this game be more central, and it was more effective. A bit of a formation change, it was more effective. I think there's something there, my homies. You see Hoffa, one thing that we see here is Hoffa got into the box a bit more this game. Usually the games that we were kind of non we had couldn't produce anything, he was non-existent here. And Hoffa's gonna track back and try and get himself into the play. Don't get me wrong. But a lot of times when that happens, we end up having to sacrifice a lot of our striker being in this part of the field, which is where you want him to be. Let's go back here to this here. Now let's go to player ratings, my homies. Let's dive into excuse me. I got the hiccups now. Let's go into the player ratings, and we're going to start off with Zach Steffen, who could have been, easily the player of the game. Good performance. 3 saves on the night. Goals prevented, 1.17. See what I'm saying? There was huge chance in the first half. And probably I'm honestly probably missing a couple of other good stops that, if they go in, change the trajectory of the game, no doubt about it. Run outs successful. I'm assuming that's playing the sweeper keeper role or running out to tackle. 1 of 1. Of course, saves from inside the box. Touches, accurate passes, 70%. 1 clearance. Okay, so probably not man of the match performance, but still showing why he's need to put some respect on his name, my homies. We're gonna go out left back with Ian Murphy. What kind of performance did he put in here? 1 clearance, 1 interception, 21 of 25 passes, 84%. That's good, my homies. 1 of 1 on these long balls. 1 of 2 on the dribbles. If I'm Ian Murphy, I'm thinking I'm not getting consistent game time. I'm not getting probably the type of game time that I feel I want. Go out there and have a performance like this, my homie. Go out there, get stuck into the lineup, and have a solid performance like that, and it's not going to go unnoticed. I could say he was a good performance from our left back, who of course has been, like I said, out of the lineup, having to come and deputize Reggie Cannon out, so we had to make some adjustments there. Chidozie Awaziem played the full 90, 2 clearances, 2 interceptions, 2 tackles, 2 of 3 aerial duels, 2 of 4 ground duels. Wow, 43 of 48 accurate passes, key passes 1, 4 of 6 long balls for Cheeto. What a game. What a game. 2 fouls, lost possession 7 times. Those numbers are going down. We've bitched and complained about how those numbers have been very high in past games, and I'm glad to see that over the last 2 games at least, those numbers definitely have went down, my homies. Interceptions and tackles. Cheeto, take a bow, my homie. My hat goes off to you. Falling more and more on the Cheeto bandwagon. Let's go. And then we move over to Andreas Maxu, who had even a better game, my homies. 90 minutes played, 3 clearances, a block shot, 2 interceptions, a tackle, 2 of 2 ground duels, 1 of 2 aerial duels, 3 times possession lost, which I said those numbers have went down since last time as well. 27 of 29, which is a 93% passing. Get in, my homies. Distribution was proper on the day from the Rapids back line. Big chances created. 1, a big chance off the. Yeah, let's go. So Andreas Maxu, Solid performance. Solid performance. 7-6. That's man of the match material there, my homies. Honestly, in other games, if you don't have a player like Djordje Mihailovic picking up the rating that he does, a 7-6 is arguably the best score on the pitch. Let's see if anybody on Charlotte's side had better than 7-6. So, you know what I mean? He could have easily been, he got a better rating than any of their players. So, yeah, solid performance from Andreas Maxu. Let's go. I was bigging up Keegan Rosenberry earlier on in the stream. I felt he had a good game. Like I said, went up against a brutal opponent, Wilfred Zaha. Um, Played the full 90, 3 clearances, block shot, 2 interceptions, 2 tackles, dribbled past twice, 1 of 3 ground duels, possession loss 14. Uh, See what I mean? Sometimes those numbers do get up there, my homies. They do get up there sometimes. 76% accuracy passing, 50% on the long balls. Um, so yeah, room for improvement from Keegan Rosenberry. But like I said, defensively, I feel he adds a lot to our game. In the second half of the match, I feel like I always say this. Keegan is key for us. Keegan Rosenberry is key for us. Wins a lot of recoveries. A lot of the goal kicks that get played out, Keegan is the first one to get there, beating his man a lot of times, flicking the ball onto one of our players. Keegan Rosenberry does a lot for this team, and I've never really noticed it until recently when I start paying attention to you know, just how much he hustles. I like to watch a lot of the off the ball movement when I'm at the stadium, when I'm able to, take in the game live. So yeah, that solid green performances from Zach Steffen and our back line cannot be upset with that, my homies. This is the type of performances you need if you're going to beat these type of teams throughout the season. Now, let's go, my homies. This is why I said it's a 4-2-3-1. It looked like we played a double pivot of Cole Bassett and Josh Atencio. Rating wise, Cole Bassett and Oliver Larraz were our worst players. I'm interested to see why. Look, here, this heat map is a bit more sporadic and not as heavy. I'm honestly kind of baffled by that. I felt on the day Cole Bassett did a lot more running than this. He played the full 90 minutes. However, it looks as though he was more, what's the word? He was just more disciplined, I guess, in his positioning. 90 minutes played, expected 0.05, which I mean, barely anything. Accurate passes 88%. So that actually I think is up from last game. 1 key pass, 100% on his long balls. Out of both of them, he tried pause. Um, Shots blocked. 10 times possession lost, which I think is honestly it's high, but it's down from recent games. Aerial duels won as well. Um, but look, my homies, the thing that this doesn't tell you is a lot of those times where Cole Bassett is in the right place at the right time. To like I said, a lot of times I'm saying to the homie, "Damn, do you see how far back they're playing, or look how far up he is?" Because he was everywhere for me. He was everywhere for me. I'm honestly surprised he got such a low score. And Josh Atencio, another player who I felt was just everywhere on the game. 90 minutes played, 0.11 expected assist, 62 touches, 84% passing. Playing more long balls, 7 of them played, 4 of them completed, 2 out of his 2 dribbles completed. one shot blocked, one big chance missed. Trying to think what that was. Yeah, so for the second half, I forgot to mention, my homies. For the second half, there was like this period of like 5 minutes where we just had shot after shot, blocked after block, and like ping pong just bouncing back and forth in the box there, and you know we were unlucky to not get a few goals in that time. But look at this, my homies. Josh Atencio, 8 of 9 ground duels won, 2 of 2 aerial duels, and look, my homies, seven times he lost possession in a crucial area. This for sure went down dramatically. If you guys will remember last episode, this was probably in the higher teens, if not low 20s. 3 clearances on the day, 5 total tackles, 7-6. Like I said, easily, if we're not talking about Djordje Mihailovic in a little bit with his high player rating, Josh Atencio easily could walk away with a man of the match performance. Speaking off of those rating, that rating and all the stats that we did just read off, my homies. Kevin Cabral out on the right hand side played 60 minutes. Um, Not too much action, my homies. 20 touches, which I think is a few more than his last game. I would like to see him get more touches, especially if last game he had a huge what is that big chance created, and this time he was kind of not that relevant. So I'd like to see some more consistency from Cabral. However, I think later on this week I will have a stream kind of just talking about that, because the substitutes don't really get that much love on these streams. I kind of need to dedicate uh, you know, a s enough time to talk about the subs, because Kevin Cabral has just not been doing it for us this season, my homies, and we keep trying it. We keep trying these Hail Marys to Cabral. It wasn't that many this game, not gonna lie, not that many this game. However, Cabral is still trying to, find the back of the net, which I think will do him wonders. Just getting that first goal of the season for him will definitely be do him wonders. But um, yeah, the weakest link on our team for sure, Cabral. But on the day, it was Oliver Larraz, who on the left hand side there played 60 minutes, came off for Omir Fernandez, who did get the goal. Positive performance, but just not what we're looking for on the day. 33 touches. I would like to see that be tripled, if I'm honest with you. 18 of 19 passes, probably the best percentage of the Rapids on the day. 1 of 2 for crosses, and just, not the best performance from Oliver Larraz. Lost possession 5 times. The Rapids did not lose that much possession on the day, which is is an upgrade from last week's episode. Let's skip Djordje Mihailovic and go to Rafa Navarro. Look at a lot of his heat map will be right here in the middle of the park, and that's because he wants to be involved in the build-up play. He wants to be involved in, winning the ball back, playing the high press that the Rapids want to do, and excuse me, the mid block. But Rafa wants to be relevant. He doesn't want to, I'm not saying like I know him, he's telling me what, but this is just what I see. He wants to be involved. Off the ball, Rafa Navarro moves for being a striker. Look at that. Um, let's take a look at his shots. Blocked and saved. Oh. 89 minutes played. I think he came off for Darren Yappy. I could be wrong. Expected assists 0.55. Shots on target 1. Shots blocked 1. One dribble pass. Won the penalty, which was key for us. worked very hard to get in position, to get his body in front of the defender. The ball kind of got played in through to him, and Hoffa just muscled his way to be able to get past the defender. Strong performance from Hoffa to get the penalty call, and we all know what happened there. 4 of 3 ground duels won, 1 for 3 aerial duels. Possession lost 8 times, which is not a lot for Hoffa. Like I said, usually the possession lost is in the teens for the majority of our team. Um, 83% passing, 10 of 12, 30 almost 30 touches. Hoffa, just what it is was just a solid performance from Hoffa. And now we'll go into Djordje Mihailovic. 89 minutes played on the day, expected assist 1.01. Um, of course, he was the one that had the 2 goals, 67 touches, 80% passing, 2 key passes, 11 crosses attempted, only 3 of them found the target, 2 of 3 long balls, 4 shots on target. Again, uh, easily, not easily, almost had a hat trick, went for the free kick shot from distance. In fact, let's pull that up, my homies. That's it right there. Went for it from distance and just about beat the keeper, my homies. He did not expect that at all. Must have been another free kick there. Oh no, that wasn't a free kick. That was the shot in the first half that he shot, I think. Or am I mistaken? But yeah, no, let's see. I wanted to see that because it was a good free kick attempt. What else could we say about Djordje Mihailovic in the team of the week for the MLS? And this will mean the Rapids have had a player in the team of the week for the last 5 of 6 weeks, which is good, man. The Rapids are doing bits this season again, my homies. We did bits last season, and I feel like this season as well we will be doing bits. Let's see here. Omir Fernandez. Okay. Different way of looking at it. Sorry, my homies, bear with me while I'm just. So Omir Fernandez had a 7-8 on the day. Played 30 minutes. Like I said, he was part of that package substitutes that came on in the 60th minute, and 1 assist, 2 shots blocked, 10 of 10 passing, 100%. Let's go. 19 touches, 2 of 2 crosses. Perfect performance from Omir Fernandez off the bench. And like I said, later on this week, my homies, I will be doing a stream talking about players like Omir Fernandez, Calvin Harris, um, and maybe other substitutes, or maybe we could just focus in on them too, primarily. Um, but look, my homies, let's see. Let me take a look at the thumbnail because I want to make sure. So let's talk about Djordje Mihailovic as well. We kind of did 2 goals. Let's see how many goals we have on the season um, for the homie. Let's go here. Season heat map here. Okay. Solid performances from Djordje Mihailovic. The weakest one was against San Jose Earthquakes, and we still won that match. Okay, what am I looking for here? I'm trying to see his season stats. 2 goals. So were those his first 2 goals of the season? They must have been. They must have been. 270 minutes. Yeah, because his last brace came in the CONCACAF Champions Cup qualifying match for the other round, and those are not MLS. So those were his first 2 MLS goals of the season. A brace. What a way to do it, my homies. What a way to do it. One thing I will say is, um, just how I mentioned about in different streams, I've definitely mentioned how I feel some teams come to Colorado and they start the match off attacking against making the Rapids attack against the South Bank first, and that kind of puts us off balance. And Djordje actually talked about that in an interview after the game and said it was very nice to be able to attack the fans' direction at the second half this game. And that was the first time we were able to see that this season in the MLS. This was the first game we were able to have our team start off attacking our direction. I mean, and end off the game attacking in our direction, and the players notice this. The players feed off of that, and it's good to know that, you know what I mean? Because we try as fans, we try to be loud all game. We try to provide as much support for the team, players, throughout big instances in the match. When things happen throughout the match, Cheeto gets his name sung. Whoever it is on the occasion, like they get their praise, and it's good to know that, like, um, they feed off of it, and they feel that energy that the fans are able to provide. So that was definitely something that stuck out when I was watching his post match press conference. And Yeah. Solid performance from start to finish. Like I said, we could just to kind of to recap the stream. First half was back and forth, not the most entertaining. Second half is when we definitely came alive. Huge performance from our midfield, like we needed to. I thought going back to the double six in our formation definitely helped the Rapids to be able to just deal with what could have been a potent attack from Charlotte FC. It was just the perfect way to have your team set up on the day. And I think a lot of the credit has to go to Chris Armas, who, you know, at the end of the game, Chris Armas came to the South Bank and was like he does. He definitely tries to come to where the fans are at and say thank you, and show his appreciation. And for some reason or another, like we kind of locked eyes, and I told him like, good fucking performance today, coach. And he pointed to the players, and he said like it was all the players today. There's all the players today, and I'm thinking to myself, and I even tweeted this after the match with. I even tweeted, or I guess X, however it is, whatever. I tweeted this exact image, right? This formation, this average player position. I tweeted and said, "Yo." After the game, Coach Armis said, a lot of this win was on the team. And I'm thinking like, yo, take some credit, coach, because you fucking set this team up perfect on the day. I think Chris Armas deserves a lot of credit for the way this team played. The team did have to hold up, their end of the bargain. They had to perform. We had to pull out the result. And, top to bottom, perfect way to start the weekend. And perfect way to move up the table, get another one under the belt, and on to the next one, my homies. Um, Not much I want to add to this stream. Again, I will be doing another one later on this week. I will probably do a couple more, if I'm honest with you. So look out for that, my homies. There will be, just a more player breakdown, more squad, I guess, breakdown. Um, I want to get some other people on to maybe talk a bit about what I saw throughout this game, having to do with like the whole formation and everything like that, my homies. But big up to everybody who is tuned in, who has tuned in. If you haven't already, smash the like button, my homies. I appreciate any support that you have for me and the channel. And let's see here. Yeah, I think that's just a good way to wrap it up, my homies. We will do another stream here in a couple days. Um, Yeah, fucking hell. What a good performance from the team, my homies. Not only is it come on you Spurs, but it's also up the fucking pits. Let's go, my homies.